Alright guys, so I posted a video a couple days ago about me, explaining how John Mayer broke my head between relative major and minor shapes, and how you can use them interchangeably. And I use the term chord tones, and people, ask me what I meant by that, and it really just means that you're playing the qualities of a chord in a solo. And if you're playing chord tones right, you shouldn't even need the chords. A great example of that is John Mayer's, "Ain't No Sunshine," where he takes this and changes the key and turns it into this. And every chord is in that little lick. You can sing the whole song. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. If you can play it and sing it, then it all works. And so he's doing the same thing there. He's finding the chord tones. And you can do it in the original key like that. And so he's thinking A minor, E, and G. A minor, right? G, A minor. So he's taking the same chords and using them in a different shape. And once you understand how your shapes overlap, you can, start to build solos. Now, you don't need to know everything before you can start to, try to learn a solo. We were talking about box one the other day, the minor pentatonic box one. And how you can get here. If you can run those, two scales back and forth to each other, that's all you need to start learning solos. You just need to find a shape that you like, that feels comfortable. Now, most people in the world, that's minor pentatonic box one. You don't have all these weird shifts like you do if you shift out here. That's an easy position for that as well. Not one of the crazier ones. But as you extend out, your shapes start to get weirder and weirder and weirder. And it can look intimidating if you look at the whole, fretboard. So the way that I started this and, maneuvered all of this is minor pentatonic is home for me. And that's why John broke my head so much with slow dancing, is because it's all minor based. And then it goes, you can use that relative major. And I knew all of these things separate, but I'd never really, put it all together all at one time. And so people were asking me, what do I mean by chord tones? And so I simplified, the chord progression for slow dancing so that there's not 3 chords but only 2. So just going from C minor to A. We could do A minor 7. A major 7. Because it's got that C minor, C sharp minor thing in it. So I'm going to loop that around and I'll start to, explain to you what I mean by chord tones. Alright. So you've got a couple different shapes for both of these chords. You can play the C sharp minor here, where I just did. You can play it over here. And so this is box one I was just telling you about. Same thing in slow dancing in a burning room. So theoretically, I could do the slow dancing in a burning room lick over this progression, and it should work, right? I mean, this is 2 out of 3 chords. So let's see if it works. Gotta modify it a little bit because of the time. There's not enough chords there, but every note in that lick works. of both C sharp minor shapes. If you can play, sorry, this is probably a lot. If you can play a chord and go to another chord, every note in every chord that you just played is in key. So this is where your C major open position, all of your open positions are very important. I would say to all guitar players, learn your C, A, G, and E, and D scales openly because they stack. C, A, G, E, D. That was all C. Now, when I play a position over here, I typically think of my pointer finger as the root. So all of the things that you can do on an A minor applies here. Box one. So what I mean by chord tones is when we're on the C major, highlighting stuff like what's in the C major chord, the C sharp, wow, C major, C sharp minor. When you get to the A, highlight stuff that's in the A. And I'll show you what that might sound like. Slowly. Not a whole lot of notes. But if I really wanted to chase the chord tones, I might play something like this. And this kind of stems off of arpeggios. I'll show you what that looks like. All I played there was over a C minor arpeggio. Then I went to box one. All right, guys, we just ran out of some camera battery. I'm gonna wait for part two to keep going.